express 0.08 with a dot on it as a fraction. So first of all, I'm going to write this out sort of in full, right, or relatively full. We're going to have a number of decimal digits here, okay? So what I'd also say as well is I'd say, look, let x to equal, right? Just call it x, 0.0, and then the 8 starts to repeat, yeah? So it's just an infinite amount of 8s, okay? We could keep going on and on, all right? And dot, dot, dot to show that. Now what I do then is, right, because I called it x, I can then look at what 10x would be, okay? We always think in terms of the number 10, right, or power of 10, because it's quite easy, isn't it? 10x just makes it 10 times bigger, and when you make something 10 times bigger, the digits just move up one place to the left. So in fact now 10x would be, if that shifts up, it would just be then a load of 8s, right, after the decimal point. Okay, and what I do then is I compare then, right, after the decimal point, I compare, so it's good to line up the decimal points actually, I compare them to see if they're the same afterwards, and they're not quite the same, are they, because this is 0.88888, and this is 88888, okay? So what I do then is, right, I'll times it by 10 again, right, I'll times this by 10 again, which will give me 100x, if you think about it. If you times 10 by 10, you get 100, okay? Or you could go to this and think, say, times this by 100, all right? But ultimately, if I times this by 10, again, the 8s will move up one more place, so I get this. Okay, and what I want you to notice then is, the last two I've written down, after the decimal point, they're identical, aren't they? So we're going to consider these two, and what we'll do, we'll just take them away. Okay, watch what happens when you take them away. Now take them away, take the smallest from the highest, right? So, you know, here, you're not going to do 10x take away 100x, right? Because you end up with minus 90. So do it the other way around. Do 100x, take away 10x, and that's 90x, okay? And then on the right-hand side, you've got all of this, take away all of this. Now 8 take away 0 is 8. And what's good then is after the decimal point, 8 take away 8, 0. 8 take away 8 is 0. It all vanishes. So you're left with this, an equation. Quite simply then, you can take the 90 over the other side, because we're timesing, yeah, when you take it over, you're dividing. And that's your answer, right? That's your fraction answer. No need to simplify it, because it just says leave it as a fraction. So the answer there is perfectly acceptable.